Here we are on the eve of the Premier League. Looking forward to a return to Premier League action.
Yes, Phil. Yes, mate. Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, I tuned in the other night. Online.
We saw you there.
That was something. No, that wasn't me. That was someone else.
Oh, was it?
Seriously, there was someone else's Peter Wright on there. I tuned in and went, Peter Wright's on it. Hopefully, you don't say nothing bad on it. So, yeah.
How are you looking to approach this year's Premier League? Because it's very different in these blocks instead of once a week. Obviously, you can't win the Premier League in block one, but you could lose it with a spell of bad results.
Yes, exactly. I enjoyed last year's that block because if you're not quite at form in the beginning, then you can play yourself into some good form, or you have to play yourself into some good form. Otherwise, you've got to get trounced by all the quality players. So, yeah, I liked it. I let a couple of players off last year by missing a couple of doubles here and there, but I got to the semis and played rubbish, and but hopefully, first thing is just try and qualify. That's the main thing.
Looking back at last year's Premier League, is it a little bit of a missed opportunity? Like you say, you kind of threw away the semi-final, and the final wasn't the best of games either in respect to both Gary and Nathan. You look back, could have happened.
No disrespect to Glenn and obviously Nathan. They both can play a lot better than that, and so can me and Gary. I was expecting to play Gary in the final, but it didn't happen. The guys done a job on us, and it's up to us to try and get into that semi-finals and play better.
Was it important for you to get back to some winning form in the Super Series as well? Obviously, winning on the day you did to give you some confidence heading in towards the Premier League.
To be honest, I've been trying for a change. I've been trying different setups, and I needed to get something out of my head and on the series. And on the first two series, I've been using different setups just to see what I need. And then I decided, right, it doesn't suit me, so I just went back to the diamonds with like some different points in them, with throwing actions a little bit, I don't know, quicker, or I don't bring it back as much, which is good. And every time I pick them up, I know I can win a tournament with them or start playing well with them, starting 100 averages easily instead of working really hard with other darts to try and get to the 100.
Speaking about getting out of your head, I spoke to Lee and Simon at Red Dragon. Was that the torpedo type dart that you wanted? Was that the one you needed to get out of your head?
Yeah. No, it works, but it's just that. Obviously, I'll cut the flights shape and everything, and then they're not the same and everything. And for Red Dragon and Simon and Lee to go and buy a machine and everything, it's going to cost a lot of money. For a week later, for me to go, no, I don't want to play with them anymore. So, but at the moment, I'm happy just going back to these diamonds with a slightly different point, which. It's like an in-between point of what I used to use with them. I used to use a really thin one. I used it in the Masters against Johnny, and it was too thin. And then I used the longer ones in the match play, say against Darryl Gurney. And they used to kick to the right. So I've gone for an in-between point, and then ones, and they seem to go all right.
How would you assess this year's Premier League? Because although it's filled with quality, that quality isn't particularly playing well at the moment. There's a lot of question marks around a lot of players' form. How would you assess it?
You watch when everyone starts. Everyone will be playing brilliant. Just because that was last week, the week before. That doesn't matter. All them guys have been practicing because they, you don't want to look like a fool on telly. So you need to practice, and that's your job to practice. And so You know, we're professionals, so you practice at it. You know, they was like, as you say, on the floor tournaments. Really, you know, these guys were getting ready. It's similar to me getting ready as well for the Premier League. That was like, right, I've tried that setup. That's right, that setup could have worked. You know, I could have gone, right, this is the next step, but it didn't. So you know, all them people who beat me, well done. You got that money. You ain't having it next time.
And again, looking at it, you and Michael Van Gogh very close in the rankings. You overtook him last week, and then he went back above you this week. Looking forward to the next block of Super Series to try and nail down that world #2 spot.
Yeah, obviously. But I'm not, as I said before about the rankings, I'm not too bothered about getting in front of Michael or getting to #1. I'm just enjoying playing darts, and if I'll swap to go to #2, we still play each other in the semi-finals of a tournament anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Apart from Michael will have to go walk on first, or I'll have to walk on first, and that's the only difference. You know, Michael's an amazing player. Look at what he's done for darts, and it's just he's just got to get himself mentally right, and if he does, we're all in trouble. We all know that, and but I'm mentally right at the moment as well, so I'm looking forward to it.
Peter, we look forward to seeing you on Monday, mate. Thank you very much as always.
Cheers, Phil. Cheers, mate.
Hi, Peter. You're looking very regal today. There in your looks like
thanks, mate.
in your stately home. The Premier League hasn't been kind to you. You've missed chances to beat Michael a couple of years ago. You've then missed an opportunity last year. Do you go into it thinking, I really want to end this Premier League jinx?
I think the main thing is about with the Premier League with me. I think it comes too early in the season. Round about now, April time. I think personally, I like it because you've played a few players' championships. You've got into playing quality players all the time, so it's mentally gets you right. But when we normally start the Premier League, we're not playing anything like that, really, are we? So we're just like, you've played the Masters straight, after Christmas when you've had the relaxing time, and then you're thrown into the Premier League, and I've always started slow. I think really, apart from my first ever year in it, I've always started slowly. So fingers crossed, I'll start quicker this year.
Has the draw been unkind to you? Because do you regard Johnny Clayton as the best player in the world at the moment?
At the moment, he is definitely. Just look what he's done. He's doing some super averages, and he's won the Masters. He's won a floor tournament. The runner-up in the floor tournaments as well, with high averages and everything. And it's been a good player to stop him. So it's but I always get thrown the newcomers. I know I could have got one or three of them, but always get the newcomer first. The first one, and it's like, seems like I'm the old guy in it really now, and I've been here. It seems like years I've been playing the Premier League, but it doesn't. I feel fresh as hell this year. I'm really looking forward to it. It's like I found my mojo, and it's just like it seems easier than before.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Peter, and good luck on Monday.
Thanks, Baz. Hope you're well.
Hi, Peter. You've won numerous major titles and you've come within the width of the wire of winning this Premier League, but what would it mean to actually take that step and win the Premier League this year?
Obviously, it's going to be very difficult because you've got amazing players in it. You've got major winners, and which are like the newcomers, and then you've got the quality that normally plays in it every year. So it's going to be very difficult. But I would love to, add the Premier League to one of my titles. So let's see how it goes. Fingers crossed. What's my odds? I must be about 10-1 or something like that.
A bit shorter than that, I think. Bit short.
Bit short.
Yeah.
If I lose a few games, no, not really. No, no, no. I fancy him. You know, I fancy my chances as long as it, you know, the way I feel now carries on the next, you know, couple of sessions that we have to play at Milton Keynes, and you know, watch this space. You never knew.
7-2 with Unibet, according to Dave Allen.
7-2. Oh, cool. Oh, right, yeah, good price.
And following on from that game against Johnny, the second night you've got Michael Van Gerwen. Do you still stand by what you said after the Super Series that he won't win a TV title this year? And do you think that might fire him up going into this Premier League?
You know me, I like to fire people up. You know, I do it because I want the player playing well. I want him, not just him. I've done it with Kim Hybrex. I've done it with other players when I'm going to go and play them, because I want them to be annoyed. I want them to be playing at their best. So if I can, you know, make them concentrate on a dartboard and stuff like that to bring out their best, because I want to play my best against them. You know, that's my idea. Of course, Michael can win a TV tournament. It's just something that's said at that time. You know, he normally wins a TV tournament every year anyway. It was just me being just it'd been a long few days, and you know, it's a bit tired, and just and it was typical that I was travelling home that day, and I'd just be there to the end.
And just finally from me, also, how much are you looking forward to taking on your former house guest, Dimitri Vandenberg, as well, who's making his debut this show?
Yeah. Obviously, when he was here, we Joe and us lot, we do miss you, Dimitri. You know, but I didn't show him nothing, so I'll show it on the dartboard against him.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Peter.
No problem.
Peter, how important was the Pro Tour win a couple of weeks ago? Because heading into that, maybe there were some question marks over your form. So to get the win so close to the Premier League must be a big boost.
It was good to win, obviously, but there weren't no question marks personally with me with my form, because I was trying out different things. I was trying out different darts, different weights, different styles of throwing. Getting ready for the Premier League, you know, that was my preparation for that. Taking it to the floor tournaments. There's no good doing it on a practice board because you're not under that sort of pressure, you know. So yeah, there was some, you know, pretty good performances once I found the setup I want, you know. So that was all right.
And we noticed you were wearing glasses at the last Super Series event. Are they here to stay, or?
No, it's just because it was a long day, and I didn't want to go back forwards to the toilet. They saved the last 8 hours, but they start irritating me, the contact lenses, after like 3.5 hours. So I didn't want to be going back to the toilet, poking myself in the eye, not getting it in there quite properly and stuff like that. So it was easier, just shoved the glasses on. There weren't loads of light, so I just found that a little bit easier. I know with the Premier League and TV tournaments coming up, I'll just put them in, say, an hour before my match, and I should be all right with contacts.
We mentioned before there's 3 debutants this year in the Premier League. Do you think the fact that you've been there many, many times over the past few years, do you think that gives you a bit of an advantage over the new boys?
I don't, because we're playing behind closed doors, and obviously in Milton Keynes, everyone's been used to playing in Milton Keynes. Mm-hmm. It's not as if they're going to these, you know, amazing arenas that we normally go to, filled with 10,000 people. You know, it's some of them, like Dimitri's experienced it. You know, Jose's not really experienced it. And it's so hard. It's got to be harder for us because they're going to be relaxed. They're not going to have the crowd on the back. You know, it's just you know, obviously like Dimitri, like slow down a little bit, so you won't have the crowd booing him or anything like that. Or you know, get on with it, you know, and stuff like that. You know, even I've had that. Yeah, that's so, you know, I think it's gonna suit them better, to be honest.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, Peter, and best of luck.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Peter, just a few days away now from the 2021 Premier League. How are you feeling heading into it? There must be that belief that you can go all the way and win it.
Yeah, there's an inner belief, but you got to believe them guys out there to do exactly the same thing. You know, they want to be Premier League champion. You know, I'm sure Glenn, when he was picked last year, that was his guy. Yes, and he went and done it. So, and I've been there many years, and it's taken me a long time. A bit like the Worlds, it took me a long time to win it. So, fingers crossed, maybe it might be my year.
The competition is wide open for sure, though. There's not just one or two players that could go and run away with it. That's surely what the Premier League's all about, though. Entertainment. Yeah,
but it'd be different if you know, Michael was on form, and then we'd be talking about Michael. Yeah, can we catch him? Can we beat him? Can someone else beat him? And you know, but only because Michael's not quite hitting what he wants to hit at the moment. We're talking about the rest of us. So, you know, I think quietly the man obviously to watch is Michael.
Okay, so you said in a previous interview that Michael wouldn't win a TV. We touched upon it before. Why do you feel Michael's not playing well at the moment, though?
I don't know. I can't answer that question, really, can I? You know, I don't know what's in Michael's head. We don't know his private life's like. You know, it's, you know, and it's nothing to do with us, really. But it might be something like that down the line that's, you know, in the back of his head affecting him. You don't know. Or is it just that we've all raised our levels and no one's scared of each other anymore? You know, when I first joined the PDC, you know, it was like I used to fear all these top guys playing them. Now, nobody fears anybody. It's like, I don't care. You just go, I can beat you. I can beat you. And they can just look at you and go, I can beat you. Well, it doesn't matter. As before, it'd be like, oh no, I don't want to play here. You know, it's like, yeah, it's totally different now.
And that's what the three new guys will think as well, won't they? They'll look around and think, well, I've already beaten you. I've already beaten you. So exactly. It's going to be a real good competition.
Exactly, yeah. And they've played on that stage before to win, you know. So win their majors. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be hard work for us. It's not going to be easy.
How would you assess your form going into the Premier League this year?
Not telling you. My form, well, I feel as long as you feel good and your head's right, the game's easy. But as soon as you start thinking about it, and then it becomes difficult. You know, in the Players' Championships, the one I just won, I started to think. I went, stop thinking, just throw it. That's it. That's what I've done. And it's, I've actually got a new thing. Stop thinking, just throw. That's it. Easy.
Johnny, first up on night one, probably the form player in the world right now. How important is it for you, though, to get off to a winning start because of obviously the format of 5 straight nights?
Yeah. I was actually thinking about it yesterday. Actually, I was thinking how many points, you know, that you know I can have, and normally how many you need to qualify overall. It's normally about like 18 points, 20 points to get yourself into the, you know, the last 4 at the end of it. So it's like I just thought, you know, just win as many as you can. That's it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.